Having a heart attack every time you look at your monthly deficit and wonder where you went wrong. To save money in this economy, you should know how to live frugally and put aside money for future needs. For more on how to live frugally, keep watching this video for all the best tips and tricks. Let's begin. Take a look at what you eat. The first tip might seem a bit daunting, but it's actually pretty simple. The secret to living frugally is cutting back on unnecessary expenses, not things you need to survive, so we are not telling you to start eating less. Rather, we are telling you to cut back on foods you buy that you can make at home. Even an average cup of coffee costs at least $2.70, while Starbucks prices are out of this world. If you just start making coffee at home, even if it is the instant type, you can easily bring down the daily cost to $0.17, saving hundreds of dollars a year. Other than that, try to keep your freezer full and prefer eating at home. If you don't know how to cook, learn to cook simple foods and drink water instead of sodas. Always use up leftovers and pack lunch from home instead of going to the vending machine. You will save at least $1,000 if you can fix your eating habits. Save electricity. A tip that combines being environment-friendly with being frugal. Always save electricity. You are the one who will have to pay the electricity bills at the end of the month. Save yourself from the pain of paying a hefty sum. Turn off the lights when you leave a room, plug off any kitchen appliances you are not using, and use unnecessary appliances as little as possible. If you have a dishwasher, try to wait until the load is full before starting it. The same applies to your washing machine. Even small things like keeping the air conditioner off until you really need it or unplugging your charger as soon as you're done make a big difference in the long run. If the weather is nice and you have a terrace or garden, go outside instead of staying in. You will be simultaneously saving money and getting much needed fresh air. Start using public transport. This one is a no-brainer. Trying to cut back on transportation costs is one of the first ways people try to live frugally. To do this, aim to be punctual so you can easily walk to places near you. That alone will help your budget a great deal. And if it is too far for walking, try getting a bicycle. Use public transportation for work and carpool as much as possible. Maintaining vehicles is more expensive than you might think, so it is a good idea to avoid buying one unless you absolutely need it. If you have a family and cannot do without a car, consider what you need very carefully. Go for a smaller car, which requires less effort to maintain and is cheaper. You should also consider getting a used car in good condition. When buying, make the highest down payment possible and maintain your car along the way instead of having to pay a hefty sum if it suddenly breaks down. Use reusable things. You would be surprised by just how much money is spent on all those small expenses like kitchen towels and the disposable plates or boxes you use when going out. Try to cut down on those completely. For one, never use anything disposable at home. If you are going on a picnic and don't want the hassle of carrying large containers back home, buy cups and plates specifically designed for travel purposes. These are usually very compact and light. Other than that, always take a reusable metal or plastic lunchbox to work filled with homemade food. Also try to reduce the use of tissues. If you have messy children, consider buying cloth napkins. They are easy to wash, and your kids can choose any cool design they want, making it a win-win situation. You would be surprised how these little saves add up in the long run to make your life better. Ditch the brand names. In this social media run life, it is very easy to see designer brands and covet them. But as these items are usually overpriced and under quality, they are more often than not a waste of your money. Cutting them out almost completely will not have a big effect on your life and save you thousands of dollars in a year. Other than that, try to thrift your clothes anytime you can. While it has become something of a trend these days, thrifting is a way for people with less money to get good clothes without having to pay exorbitant prices. You can even find some really pretty vintage pieces. And if you choose to buy from a mall, stop turning towards the big names that cost $1.60 for a t-shirt. The same applies to many grocery items as well. While the cheese with the fancy name can seem attractive, you do not need it, and buying it will not improve your health in any way. Substitute high-end for local or store brands as much as possible. Plan ahead. You would be genuinely surprised by how much planning ahead will save you in life, money, or otherwise. One of the best ways to stick to a diet is to plan your meals. If you're cooking a meal, cook double and put some in your and your kids' lunchbox so you have it on hand instead of buying junk food. And when you are free, make a list of tried and true quick recipes you can make when lazy instead of heading to the drive-thru. Add items to your grocery list as soon as they finish and avoid wandering around and buying extra things at the store. Remember to carpool or walk when you can, and never let yourself get into the habit of retail therapy. You might feel good buying something you do not need. Splurge less on luxuries. At the very least, if you do go out, go somewhere like a park. Cinemas are expensive, so just watch movies at home. Expensive vacations are also out of the question. Everyone wants to pamper themselves, but try to learn to do things at home instead of paying a lot of money for professional haircuts and dye jobs. Also start doing your manicures and pedicures at home instead of going to the salon. This is not to say you should restrict yourself completely, but fixing your spending habits will help you achieve much more than temporary pleasures. Consider a roommate. If you are living in a big city, it can sometimes be almost impossible to afford living expenses alone. Consider getting a roommate to share the burden with so you can both benefit financially by saving money on rent and bills. Just be sure to choose your living partner carefully, as the wrong one can actually increase your problems instead of reducing them. If you do have a house, you can consider renting out a room or even a portion if it is a double story. Rely on apps as much as possible. Apps like Ibotta, Dosh, and Rakuten pay you every time you buy groceries from their affiliated stores. Keep an eye out for these sorts of applications. If you are buying from Amazon, the extension Honey can save you hundreds by comparing prices across the service and giving you recent prices of the same products. Nowadays, applications like these have become more and more common. There are even coupon tracking apps like Snap. Using these will inevitably help you save money when shopping online. Sign up for Budgeting 101. We cannot stress it enough. Budget your expenses to achieve your short and long-term financial goals, from buying a house or car to saving for retirement or college funds. Budgeting helps you plan how you'll spend money in a clear-cut way. It's the best way to track finances so you know exactly where you're overspending and need to cut back on to stop going into deficit. As long as you can adhere to your plan, budgeting makes sure there is ample room for savings and debt payments. Keep in mind that budgeting does not mean you are going to be following a military regime when it comes to money. Rather, it gives you the chance to set aside how much money spent on any category, including luxuries, is reasonable before you need to stop for the month. There are several apps and templates available online to help you start managing your finances. That's a wrap for this video. Got any other tips for living frugally? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.